Hi, everyone, and welcome to one more Notion Live workshop. My name is Sanya, and I'm running the Go2human Hub where we are actually connecting virtual assistants with clients. One of our favorite tools in Go2human Hub is Notion. We really do a lot with it, and this is basically the reason why we also share what we know about Notion during such workshops as this one. The only difference today is that what we are going to do today, I have never done before, and I personally don't know how to do it. So I'm really happy that today I'm learning something new. Now, how do I learn something new? I need somebody to show it to me. This is why today I have two guests from 46 Elks who will actually help me do that. So I'll introduce them right away. So we have Carolina. Hi, Carolina.
Hi.
And we have Rene.
Hello.
Hi, both.
Hello.
Hi.
So to introduce you first to people who don't know you, Carolina, can you please tell me what is 46 Elks? What do you do?
So we have a cool API that lets you send SMS and make phone calls or make zip phone calls, like literally everything with telecommunications. That's what our API does. And you can do it from your computer with just a few lines of code.
Okay. And Rene, anything to add?
Yeah, it's a pretty cool way of simply adding code to your existing application or service. So you can trigger sending an SMS, you can have something triggered by SMS being received into your application, all sorts of things like making phone calls, sending MMS, like pictures within an SMS, so stuff like that. So we enable developers mostly, but not only developers, people that use different types of services to include those special capabilities into their apps, whatever. So make things a bit easier.
What I was wondering is, do I need to be developer to be able to send SMS from Notion?
So, yes and no. So we have something called Just Send, where you can go into a website and you can send your SMS from there. You can just import like a CSV or Excel list with numbers and just send SMS to multiple recipients. But you could also send SMS via using code. And we have a big library with different code examples in different code languages. So there's both options.
Okay. No, I'm just asking this, just to see for who this actually is. So is it just for developers, or can somebody who is maybe tech savvy also figure out how to do it on their own? Or we need to hire somebody who is really good with code? And
Yeah, we are doing our best. So at the very beginning of 46 Elks, almost 10 years ago, perhaps the question would be answered in a way, yes, you probably need a developer to do this. But us evolving and growing, we are constantly building little things, little scripts, little things, add-ons, plugins that kind of help you just put our services and just slap them on some familiar service like WordPress or Notion or whatever. It takes away that, oh, can I do this? Is this something that is actually somewhat difficult? No, as we will demonstrate here today, it's not that difficult. Takes some time, takes some focus, let's say like that, and you can get it running really fast. If you get stuck on the way and you feel that something is wrong, you can always reach out to us. So that is the whole point. We are here for you to help. Usually the things that we also make those silly mistakes, and we forget to remove a semicolon or something like that out of the way. And yeah, we can help you out with that, no problem.
Okay, cool. So, just to say hi to everyone who is watching us, feel free to drop your message in the comments. We'll try to scan them, we'll try to answer everyone. Whatever it is you would like to know, either about sending SMS from Notion or from any other application as well.
Really, yeah.
Uh, One other thing before we start, I was just thinking a little bit after we agreed to do this session about sending SMS. Now, my first thoughts were like, isn't this outdated? I mean, who uses SMS still? I mean, people are not so much sending SMS anymore. But then I actually thought about how I feel when I do receive an SMS. And I treat such SMSs and such messages as really important. So those are usually some informations about deliveries for me. So what do people mostly use your service for? That's my question. So is it the delivery companies or who else is using and for what? So some examples.
I would say that it's both like big and small things that people use as SMS for, but as you say yourself, like SMS is really a way of getting the people's attention, because when you do get an SMS, it's not pinging or it's not a notice from an app, or it's not newsletters that keep on coming. It's an SMS, you see it, and when you have sent an SMS, it's somehow important. Like it feels like people view them as more important. And I think we have all sorts of kind of companies and solutions, and also just private people that try and develop something and uses SMS or phone calls or MMS in their services. Renee, do you have
Okay.
any examples?
Yeah, so I would have a very concrete example. Like we have within our, we have a client actually that has sort of a restaurant chain, and for example, SMS is actually agnostic and doesn't require you to install another app. We're living in a very app saturated world right now. Everyone is asking you to install an app, install this to get these rewards, to get these credits. SMS is something that's universal. So we are actually doing this today for Notion, but it is the whole point of it is that someone not using Notion should be able to get a message that is important. Not everyone is like hooked on it and wants to be a part of it. Not everyone wants to be in that ecosystem, and that's fine. So that is the point where you have all of these other communication channels that are readily available, like phone calls and SMS. We have, as I mentioned, we have a company that has an issue of you have different employees, you have different shifts, and when people change their minds about shifts and working in different working hours, or they get sick, they can actually the system that makes the change actually informs all of the employees and informs the chief of the shift, so of the certain restaurant. So that person actually gets the message that basically sums the situation. It says that and that person is going on sick leave, but this and this person will come and replace them. And that person can reply with an SMS, yes or no. So it's a very simple process of having that communication simplified and not be reliant on someone logging into some sort of a service, checking on some app. I, for first, silence all of the push notifications on most of my applications. So for example, on Slack, if you are familiar with the platform, so you have like the snooze option. Most of the people used it on weekends and stuff like that. But if I get SMS, that means as Carolina mentioned, it's important. It's something that has pushed through, and someone has went through the lengths of getting some information, a piece of information to me. And one thing is, SMS is actually not that available and not that readily available for everyone, let's put it that way. And it's used mostly for trustworthy sources of information. So we will not get things that are not important on that platform, let's put it that way. Yeah.
This is the perfect moment now to show the question from Darko, because you said it's from a trustworthy source. Hi, Darko, and thank you very much for this question. So, Darko is basically asking, are there any legal requirements for sending SMS to someone regarding GDPR? So, how does this work?
So I would say yes, but the GDPR, what is it called? Recommendations or rules or laws, they look different in different countries. So I think it's in France, for instance, you're not, as a company, you can't send SMS on a bank holiday. You can't send it after a certain time in the evening. So it does look different in different countries.
Mhm. I didn't know that.
So
Okay, cool.
it's really important to have some sort of a proof that these people are somewhat interested in having that message. It doesn't have to be a legal document, but you should have a proof of them being interested in you sending them those SMSs. Because if not, you will get in trouble with us. So we will
Uh-huh.
ask you in a sense, so what's going on? We keep our service very secure, and we don't want it to have a bad reputation. So we are somewhat very vigilant about it, I would put it, because we want to keep it like a very much fair use in a sense of that word. So yeah, I think that you don't have to go around and collect people's signatures, let's put it that way, but you have to have fair grounds on how and why are you sending the SMS to someone.
Yeah, like be reasonable.
Yeah.
Don't overuse it and use it just for important things.
Yeah.
And but is there an opt out when I like receive a message from like the SMS and let's say whoever is sending it wasn't reasonable, can I opt out?
I think there
Um,
is a requirement to do it.
Hmm.
So you as a provider, we give you the resources. Like here you go. You can send SMS. You can using our platform. You can receive on our platform
Hmm.
the SMSs that users are sending to you,
Hmm.
actually us, but we kind of forward it to your resource, and you have to give that option to people because if there's one way of communication, then you couldn't possibly know if someone is trying to stop it. And yeah, stop as a keyword, opt out, or any other keyword is fine. And we actually have that sort of a requirement for people to do that when they implement our services within their own applications. So it's kind of weird because we give out the tools, and you can do a lot of things with different tools, different sets of services, but it isn't quite up to us in the
Hmm.
legality of it. We have certain recommendations, and when we notice some things that are kind of sketchy, then we react. But before that, it's kind of up to you to have that regulation. At
yeah,
least
so
that is.
I would say that the companies, they are responsible for the GDPR rules and regulations that they have to follow, and sending SMS and setting that up. We're just providing the tools, but as Renee say, we have recommendations, and we've heard about like what applies in different countries. So in Sweden, for instance, when I get SMS from companies, they always include at the bottom, you can just send SMS, send stop to this number, and you will be opted out from this SMS list.
Okay, cool. I think this answers the question. Uh, how are we going to show this today? Who will guide us? Will it be Carolina, you? Will it be Rene?
It will be the both of us. I will just share the screen,
Okay,
and it will be
let's do
both of us
some work.
commenting as much as possible.
Let's
we
do some teamwork.
yeah, we are very relaxed in 46 Elks when it comes to these type of things. So let's get going. I will share my screen right now.
Okay.
All right, just a sec. So cool. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I will just hide the chat overlay for a bit so that
Okay.
you have the bigger screen here.
Cool.
But if there are any questions, I'll still see them. So feel free to type.
All right. I'll start from the homepage just to get going. So this is
Okay.
our homepage. We have multiple languages, even ones in Croatian, but we have Finnish, Swedish, obviously, and English. So today we are speaking in English, and we want to reach a bigger audience. We have an English setting. We will go about from our homepage and go about to guides and tutorials, which are very extensive, and we have a lot of resources here. But today we are focusing on Notion. So Notion is within technical tutorials.
Rene, can I just interrupt for a
Yeah,
second?
yeah,
You were
sure.
showing different languages. Now,
Yes,
one question pops in my mind.
sure.
Is this service available worldwide?
Carolina,
Our
would you like to
API.
answer? Yeah.
Yeah. So our API is available all over the world, and then you can have telephone numbers in different countries, and even there might be some different ways of how operators require you to give out the information in order to have a phone number in the different countries. So, for instance, perhaps you need to uh, registrate yourself as a company in order to have a telephone number in the US. And then we can help you to do all of that in order to get a telephone number in different countries.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Okay.
if you can see, I'm scrolling through all of the countries that we offer our services to. Carolina mentioned the United States. We have different currencies here. We can put euros, so people can see how much sending a SMS is, a phone call is, getting SIP working, getting numbers. So you can actually rent a number from 46 Elks and have it used as your own in a service. So yeah, you
Uh,
it's
can
always a
we
yeah. Go on.
Can we now that we are on the pricing,
Mm-hmm.
let's say that I'm a company in the United States
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to send one SMS to 100 of my employees. How
Mm-hmm.
much will that cost me?
So yeah, it's quite easy. So we can go to we can calculate it. So it's when it comes to euros, it would come to 3.8 euros.
Hmm. Cool.
So you come per part. That is important to say. It's somewhat confusing, but there are 160 characters in an SMS. So we call it per part. Actually, it is per SMS. Let's call it that way. But we can have more than 160 characters within an SMS. So we allow that, but we charge it per part. Per part means per 160 characters. So if that message is longer than 160 characters, then you would have possibly somewhat bigger expenses, but you we will warn you about that. And when you send, you will get some sort of a feedback, a JSON as it's called, where you will see the price and stuff like that. You can use just send also to send messages without any usage of the API, etc. So yeah.
And even though if it gets if it gets like two parts SMS, it will look like one message when you actually send it. So to the recipient, you will never tell if it's two parts, three parts. It will only show here in the JSON when you get your response.
Yeah.
Get
Cool.
it. Cool. I think it's really great because, to inform 100 people under 4 euros to send out some really important message, I think that's worth it.
Yeah. So we have guides and tutorials, and I'll go to the technical tutorials. We have lots of resources and lots of programming languages that can be used, and we have different examples here. But I'll go about on sending SMS from Notion. So our colleague Aya wrote this tutorial, and it is about sending SMSs from Notion. So in this
Thank
tutorial, sorry?
I just said thank you to your colleague.
Yeah, thank you, Aya.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So we will get started. So what we need is 46L's account. We had shared, or Sanya, you had shared the link where everyone involved in today's workshop can use that link and get 10 euros worth of credits, so they can test it out and see how it works, right? We can share it afterwards, or you can
No, it's
people.
here on the screen.
Oh yeah, because I cannot tell. I'm looking
Aha. Okay,
at
okay,
this,
okay.
so
No,
yeah,
it's already here on the screen. Sorry.
sure. Okay, no, no, not an issue. So we have to create a Notion account, obviously, and this is somewhat of a tricky part where we will help if needed. You have to have a domain and an online server where you can upload your script. What that means actually that you will use us as a service. You will have a Notion account, but it has to be connected via third-party server. Let's call it a computer that kind of handles all the requests and helps the communication between Notion and 46Lx happen actually. So that is the trickiest part of this tutorial, and we will show the guides and tutorials how we handled it, the building of the live streams. We already have this solution of using ngrok, so you can actually use ngrok and install it on your local machine, and it will act as a live server. So it is basically we will get to that. I will show you later on. So what do we want to achieve? We want to create a page, store a list of users on it with names and phone numbers, and basically have a message that we send out to those names and phone numbers. So this is an example of what we are trying to achieve. So this is what we are trying to do. Have a send SMS link, have a hello awesome human, this is the message, and have all of the participants here by name and by phone number.
So
So
we have a separate page just for this workshop as well that we can
mhm,
show. It's
mhm,
46alex.com/notion.
okay,
And
all
then
right, just
it's,
a sec.
yes. So
Oh,
it's
sorry.
bindestreck. I can't remember what it's called in English.
It's
Just
VS or something like that.
yeah,
I
it
forgot.
is. But you have the line in between. What
Oh,
is it
like
called?
this.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. So yeah. So
So it's basically the same as the tutorial. It's
yeah,
just shortened a bit with text, seeing as we're going through it together.
excellent. Yeah. So it is actually a very simplified version of what I was trying to say in a complicated way. So a live server to upload your script. So we had made an effort to have a small tutorial or a live stream where we went through the creation of the live server using DigitalOcean. Here's a guide how to do it. I ask you to visit that YouTube link later on. But let's go about and start the Notion API integration. So in order to enable the Notion API, we need to create an integration, and this is the way to do it. So we have to go to My Integration. We will get, so I already have this test here. I will delete it.
So we are in Notion.
We are right now in Notion. and notion.so / my integrations. Can you see the URL part of me sharing the screen
Yeah.
here? Yeah, cool.
I really
Or you just see
cannot
the
read
window?
this. It's just
Oh,
we can see the URL, but it's so
Oh, it's very
tiny.
small. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think that zoom doesn't work here. It doesn't. I can zoom on the actual
uh,
screen, but not on that.
Yeah.
can we send that URL that
Okay,
Renee started on?
sure.
The Notion VS, because all the links are in there as well.
Sure, sure. Let's. Sanya, can you perhaps share
No,
that
I'm
link?
just, yeah, okay. I'm just in my own Notion. So when I go to settings and members, so
Mm-hmm.
when you click on settings and members, you have a tab there on the bottom on the left side. It says
Mm-hmm.
integrations.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the easiest way to reach that. So go to Notion, go to settings. On the left side menu at the bottom, you have integrations.
Okay. So, and it would be probably a good idea to share the link that Carolina mentioned, where we have all of this simplified, like 46elks.com/notion dash VWS. So
Mhm.
go to that link and you will have this screen in front of you so we can help you out. So yeah,
Okay.
the step is to go to my integrations, and we have the button here called new integration. If we click it, we can have we can type in the basic name, logo, whatever is going to be important for this to work. So we are going to call it, I don't know, Notion ES workshop. We can upload some sort of a logo, whatever. I'll do something. I'll upload something.
Mhm.
Let's upload our picture here that Sanya has created, this illustration of this workshop. And you can select the associated workspace. So obviously you have to have the workspace for this to work. And pretty straightforward. So we have the Notion WS name has the name to identify your integration to the users. We have some sort of a logo, and we have associated with this workspace that I have created earlier. Submit, and we have the. So I'll go back to the tutorial. So I have clicked the plus integration button. I have created it, given it a name. This is called send SMS. Perhaps that will be a better way of doing things, but I did it that way. Uh, we have selected the workspace where you can install this integration, and have clicked submit. And we have gotten to this screen. So this is the example of how the integrations look like. We have the internal integration token, as it's called. So we have this secret token, and we have some basic information here. I'll go back to my integration so we can follow that here. So basically, Notion VS uploaded the image, and we uploaded logo, and we have integration type. You can select public integration or only available for workspaces you're an admin of. The integration can be installed to those workspaces automatically and does not require a review. So it is, we also recommend internal integration, and we will select that now and save changes. So public integration, as I've kind of saw it, and perhaps you can correct me because I'm not an expert in Notion. Public integration is actually when you want to share a workspace with the public and you want to have this feature enabled for everyone. So I think that is the difference here. Feel free to correct me if I'm
No,
wrong.
to be perfectly honest, the only integrations that I've been doing were really internal. So
Mm-hmm.
when somebody was using one app and they just wanted to connect it with something in Notion, but for the collaboration within the team. So
Mm-hmm.
I've never done anything that was for public. So can't
Mm-hmm.
really say.
Um,
Okay.
I'm a bit uncertain as well, but I know like for this tutorial for this workshop, we will be talking with Notion's API to 46L's API, and it works when you have an internal integration. So it's it doesn't have to be public for this instance.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's get back to our tutorial. So let me see if I skipped something. Okay, not everything's fine. So I should copy the internal integration token. Okay, cool. I'll do that. So where is it? Oh, save changes. And oh, so here it is. So I'll copy it. Sure. It's secret, but no longer.
Yeah, if you press show, it's not secret anymore.
Yeah.
I had to press show to copy it. It was silly. The last time I did this, to practice, it was like I have to show, then copy. Silly, somewhat silly, but yeah, I did it fastly enough so nobody can notice
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like anyone can go back and pause this video.
Yeah, and good that we didn't mention it at all.
Yeah. So here is the part where we actually set up a page in Notion. I will go back on my workspace page. So create a new page and give it a title. Create a new text paragraph and write the message that you want to send to your users. So please note that you must specifically create a paragraph and without line breaks. So we don't want to have multiple paragraphs. We want to just have one. So later on we will show why that is important.
So it has
So
to be one block in Notion.
yes,
Exactly,
Okay.
yeah.
because if you do line breaks when you write a
Mm-hmm.
paragraph in Notion, it will automatically convert to several paragraphs. So you want to have all of your SMS message in one block, because we
Mm,
will use the ID
Yeah.
for it, but it will come later.
yes. All right. So I'm here. I will um, start basically copying what was written there. So hackathon. Did I write it correctly? I
I
probably
think
did.
so.
Yeah. So we can write
Good
our
enough.
own.
Yeah.
We can write our own message here. We can write wherever. We don't have to like follow blindly the tutorial. Let's send hello everyone from I don't know. Welcome
Notion
everyone
Notion
to
workshop.
workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah Notion workshop. So clear and simple, like this. So, or we can add something else, but yeah, sure. So let me see
So
if I
just to
just.
say hi to Gordana.
Oh,
And Gordana is saying hi to everyone, and
hi.
she thinks Rene needs a drink. Now, I'm
Oh,
not sure what kind of a drink, but have a sip of water.
it is. I had a talk before this one, so probably that is true. And yeah, but let's go on, and later on
You're
we will.
doing
I,
great,
I will.
Rene.
I will have a celebratory. How do you call it? Celebrate. Oh, okay. I got my tongue twisted.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I will celebrate with a drink after this. After we successfully send an SMS. So just write "Welcome to Notion Workshop." Then we go to the next. Uh, let's do this, and I think that I had. So this is separate. This is together. So this is the same. Okay. Okay. So the issue was for me not to do exactly this. So me
Yeah.
writing this and going to another, it's actually
Yes,
two divided. So we don't want to
yes.
do that.
These are
So
two blocks now.
two
Mm.
Yeah,
blocks. So we
yeah.
just want to have one block. Welcome to Notion Workshop. Cool. And
But
this.
I think, sorry,
Mhm.
I think you can still have it in more than one line. You
Mm,
just need to use shift with enter.
like this. Okay. Yeah. You can tell that I don't have anything here.
Yeah.
Like
So
I have
when you
used shift.
press on this little menu on the left side,
Mhm.
it should all be selected as in one block.
Yes. Yeah. I think
Mm.
that is true. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is
Cool.
one block. So this
Okay,
is how you
cool.
see it.
Okay, cool. So we have welcome to Notion Workshop, and I'll press regular enter and go to a next block because I want to, let's go back to the tutorial. I want to create a new inline database and create two properties, one called name and other called phone number to the database. Let's do that. It says the property names are case sensitive and phone numbers must be the text property type in the database. So we have to write it exactly like with the capital N and then AME, etc. So we have to use the capitals at the beginning. Okay, cool. Let's do the inline database. Where is it?
So,
Should
so
I?
you can start writing
Oh,
database
really?
and
Okay.
it will show you the
Or
options
just
to
Just
do.
writing
inline
table.
or like this?
Yeah,
Database, list database
and
inline. Is this good?
Scroll up, scroll
Up?
up.
yeah,
This?
Here.
Cool.
yeah,
Okay. So this is
perfect.
pretty okay. I
You
have a
have one
block
extra
here.
block, yeah.
Okay, so I have to be very careful about that.
And that's fine. So it's just for the paragraph
Mm-hmm.
block. The all of your message will need to be in one. If you have several like line breaks after it, that's fine because they will be separate.
Mm-hmm.
And the database, it's fine wherever you put it. So it's perfect as it is.
Excellent. So uh, this is actually what is it called in the tutorial? Participants. Okay, let's write participants.
Does it have to be called like this?
It can be
No,
called whatever. It can have like you can have like guests.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call it guests. Let's call it employees,
Okay.
clients, whatever. So we will name this. So we have this recommendation from Aya. She said name and phone number. So let's type in name here and let's type in phone number here. Cool.
and here you have to select the property type and you have to change it because automatically when you do a new inline database, it will select tags because it's trying to help you understand what to do in a database. But you
Mm-hmm.
just have to change it to text.
Yes, I'm property type and
No, no,
it's
no. This is you
It's
cannot
fine with
change
name.
this one.
Yeah,
just
it's
let
fine
me
that
just
it's titled.
okay, because I'm
So you
looking
just
at
see.
I'm looking at the screenshot and it
Yeah.
has like this okay, cool. So the phone number should be text, and possibly we will make a change on that later on the tutorial, or we will see how we will kind of figure that out. But for now, set it as text. Okay. I will write my name here, just for the purposes of testing, and I will write my phone number. It's no longer a secret here.
And you have to, that's important to know as well. You have to use your country code. So you have to input the phone number formatted as E.164. Is it called that? I always forget what it's called. It also says in the workshop tutorial and in the tutorial. Yeah,
Yeah.
164.
So
So
yeah, the
it's just a
format.
form, yeah,
Yeah,
way of formatting your phone number.
you just can't you can write like I wrote +385. That's the country number for Croatia. If you were to do this for Sweden, then it will be +46 something something. Um, then you have to type in the number as formatted in this way. So you have to use no zeros. So I have usually in Croatia, if you were to write this phone number, you would write it like this. If you were to call someone from Croatia in Croatia, you would write it like this. So we can delete the zero here. We can write in the plus and 385. That is the country code for Croatia. If you were to use it for Sweden, then it would be something like this. And obviously, you don't have this number because of some
I
sort
think
of a
this is clear.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So just to make it this could be an issue but you will see when it happens, we will give you an error, and some things are fixable easy through code. Okay. So the enable
Now, I
the
would like to receive this SMS as well.
Yeah,
oh
me
okay
too.
okay cool.
Let's try it to 2 countries at once.
Yeah, cool. So Sanya will have to
Uh,
give out your phone.
plus,
That is important.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's like a big issue.
Yeah.
Plus
So
three eight
that
five
is a 385.
91
Mm-hmm.
898. No, wait a second.
Nobody knows their own phone number.
No, I know. It's hard when
I
you do
have
it
to
like
write it
in country
down. I
code.
have to
Yeah,
write it down. So
I'm the same.
yeah. So it's where did you 898 0815.
0815.
Yeah.
So I written it correctly. Cool. Cool. Okay.
So
So
my phone number,
okay.
cool. It's plus 46.
Mhm.
And here's a hint as well. We're called 46 Elks. I'm just name dropping it.
Oh, that's cool. That
Mhm.
makes sense.
Yes.
So it's 70385
Mhm.
5735.
3.
Yeah.
Oh, 5 7
Oh,
3.
so it's 5 at the end as well. So
Oh, okay. Like this.
no, 385 I have to say it in Swedish just to know that I got the right number. But yeah, it's the right one.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So we have 3 participants, guests, whatever, with 3 different numbers. So what does the tutorial say next? It says, share your page with your integration as you would with any other user.
Okay.
Okay, so we go to my page and we go to share button. Then we can click on this. Okay, and we can say can edit. This is
So this is your
this is
first.
my
Yeah.
earlier. Oh, I will
So
remove this. Okay,
you can
sorry.
have, if you press invite,
Okay.
and there you will have
Oh.
the option to share it with your integration. And that's what it looks like the first time you're doing this.
Mm,
And it's just a way of sharing your, like letting the Notion API get access to your page. And you
mm-hmm.
need to do that in order to get the Notion API and 46x API to talk to each other.
Cool. Okay, so we did that. So that's pretty much it, I think. If I click
I'm just
share.
going to say hi to Vishnya, who also didn't know that 46 is coming from the country code. She says it's very clever.
Yeah.
It's always a revelation when you say it.
Okay, so what is the next step? So, set up your script. So now is somewhat of a tricky part. Don't get scared. In this part, if you ever need help, you can contact us and we will help you out. So get your script. So we will click this link. It leads to this scary, scary, scary code
Yeah,
that you
you're
shouldn't be.
losing me here.
You shouldn't be scared of it. So just
The
click.
best part here is that you don't have to know what it says in the code.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So
I
totally
just
fine.
need to know how to do copy paste, right?
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So you have like the icon here. I will kind of zoom in. So you
Okay.
need to click on this copy raw contents. So it is the icon, the universal copy icon. And we have copied it. And what does it say later on? Okay. And we need to put this chunk of code into the server. So the most scariest part ever. So you don't have to be too scared. So we have within 46Lx, we have ways of actually doing the help that you need regarding that. We can also share a bit about that. Carolina, what do you think about the solution that Aya had built? I don't know if that is something that we usually use or where you can create like a server just using.
Um, how do you mean?
Am I wrong? So yeah, okay. So it is. If I'm wrong, perhaps I'm wrong. So it is a way of so you can send an SMS and you get. We have built this service. AI has built this service where you send an SMS and then this server is created for you and you get the credentials and you can log on to it and use it. Am I wrong?
Oh, yeah. So, oh, sorry. So
Yeah.
that was just a way of me testing the workshop out. So we
Oh,
have
okay.
like a demo server where I could just SCP.
Mm-hmm.
So I could just like instead of Git, if
Mm-hmm.
somebody knows Git,
Mm-hmm.
instead of Git, I was using SCP to
Mm-hmm.
get to make the changes in the script and then just SCP it up to our server. And
Mm-hmm.
that was one way of doing it. And just basically what we need to do now is have a server,
Mm-hmm.
and you can have it in any way that you want. We have a tutorial that you showed us before on
Mm-hmm.
how to do it at DigitalOcean.
I will click the link so people get brave and click it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, and
let me just find
it's
it.
nothing scary. We
Yeah.
guide you through how to do it at DigitalOcean.
Mm-hmm.
You could also do it the way of setting up nrock
Mm-hmm.
to create the HTTP tunnel,
Is
or
there
you
some additional cost to creating it this way?
DigitalOcean does have a cost. nrock doesn't have a cost to do it. And perhaps if you, for instance, have like I have a web page at at a web hotel, I could upload my code there, and then I have it on a live server. So there's a lot of different options for having a live server. But this is one of them, or the nrock way. We also have a tutorial for that as well.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm not
we
sure which option you went with now, or do you want me to just show how to SCP it to my demo server?
oh, so I have the demo server ready,
Oh,
and
you
I
do?
will
Yeah,
just copy the code. And
perfect.
I think that we are well on our way of having our first SMS sent within next couple of minutes.
So if there are any questions about servers, please ask them, and we can send you links,
Yeah.
or we could stay on afterwards and try and help and guide you through this as well.
Yes. So we copied the script as you noticed before. So this was the copy button. We click it again. It's copied. It's here. So the next step is to have it run. I will just now stop sharing this and I will go about on the server. Sorry.
We got so big.
Yeah, I felt that as well. I was like, oh my god,
Oh,
I'm in all
so
people's faces.
I will go about and share this if it is okay. So this looks scary, right? But it should.
Nah, it looks like a Christmas tree. It's fine.
So this is a server. Actually, it is quite easy to implement. I have used the terminal here, which it makes it even more scary. Perhaps I should have used the FileZilla. Would you like me to switch to FileZilla, perhaps? Has Sanya, are you familiar with FileZilla with the FTP client? Perhaps.
No.
No. Okay. Cool. So let's do it this way, and we will show and do other tech talks in 46Elks and help it set up
I
in
mean, I do
FileZilla.
have
Yeah.
FileZilla installed on my PC,
Okay.
but it was installed, I don't know, some 2 years ago, and I haven't been using it for that long, and I can't even remember what I used it for then. So,
Okay. Okay. Let's do it this way. We will make it quite easy to understand. So this only signifies where this piece of code goes. So it's not big of a deal. So all that we need to do is actually go about and just a sec. we need to, so we will call this script send dash sms dash notion.php. So let me just go about that way.
This is all written in the tutorial, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Just a sec. So we will go about and say nano that does. So nano is just a way of creating a text file here. We will showcase this also in FileZilla. So send dash sms dash notion, right? And we will add this PHP at the end. Let me just do this so it looks a bit nicer.
And just to explain, the reason why we're naming the file .php is because we're using PHP as a code language to do this. And then you have to name it .php so they know, oh, this is language, this is the kind of file.
Yeah.
If you were using HTML, you would name it .html, and that's the kind of code you're using.
Yes. So I will now, I have accidentally copied
Oh,
the root. So I will just go about and copy again the code. So okay, this is the code copied here, and it has uh, gotten a lot more colorful. So we have lots of colors here and lots of different things to fill out. But don't be worried. So all that we need to do is have a Notion API key set up. So this is the part. So we will copy all that part where you saw what Yai did and saw that secret internal integration token. I will now just copy that again because I kind of lost it in the process. Just a sec. Just a sec. Let me get it.
Can you magnify this a little bit?
Oh, just a sec. I'll do my
If you
best.
can't, you can't. I'm just asking.
It's it's somewhat of an issue to do it right now. Is it too bad?
No, no,
No.
no.
Oh,
It's
okay.
doable.
Okay. Oh, okay. Just a sec. This doesn't look. So at the very beginning of the code, I don't know what happened here. I went down. Okay, so at the very beginning of the code, there's everything that you need to change. So you have the comments here. Your Notion integration token, which is available at https developersnotion.com/docs slash getting started, step one, blah, blah. And we will go about and just copy that secret token. Let me just get it on my I'm going about on that page where we are copying the secret. I will copy it here for everyone to see it again. Okay, I will place it here.
it's not that secret anymore.
It's not that secret anymore. So I will type in the from. So this is the fun part. You can write the name of your company, or you can write the phone number that you have with 46 elks. So if you had, you can type in even the phone number that you used to register with 46 elks. Okay, so we can type in here to make it fun. We can type in Notion. Oh, Notion. So the sender ID, so you will see Notion written there. Alex
Okay.
API user and pass, I will write this. So you can get this from the 46else.com/account. And you will, the first thing you will see the API credentials, username and password. So I will copy this right now and put it here. This isn't that big of a secret. And this is, but I'll change it and later on.
So
Okay.
these are your API credentials, and I often say that when I have a different kind of workshop, like you have to separate the username and password that you log into your 46 Elks account. That's not your API credentials. When you are logged into your 46 Elks account, you're in the dashboard always
Mm-hmm.
at first. And then you just scroll down a bit, and there you can see API credentials, and it's named password and username. And that's a bit confusing sometimes, but as you can see, like the API credentials, there always are like a lot of numbers and a lot of letters, and that's how an API key looks,
Yeah.
basically.
It is its credentials is something that we use to recognize you as a user. So wherever in the wild, in the on the internet, when you use these credentials, we know that it's you. Because we don't know what type of servers you are using. We don't know where you are going to put this. So this is our identification. I had put the space here, which is a no-no. So be careful of that. So actually, like
Why did you do that?
it happens to the best of us. So I
It
will
happens
paste
to all
this.
of us.
Yeah. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. We have written the just a sec. I will save this. So we have that file here called send-sms-notion.php. The PHP is the language that we are using to run this. So no big of a deal. When we go about on that, so I will now stop screen sharing and select something else. So when we go
We're that
about
close
on,
again.
it's us. So when I click share and when I go to that server of mine, so this is the server. I don't know if okay. Oh, sorry, my fault. So uh, I must not look at myself. It's so this is the server. So when we talk about servers and public server, this is the IP address. So the IP address of a server, so Internet Protocol address, it is the same as you writing, I don't know, whatever resource, guardian.uk.com.uk, co.uk, or whatever resource that you are using, google.com. Instead of having google.com or whatever, having this strange number, you can have google.com or you can have, I don't know, notion.go2human or notion sms go2human.com. So you can have you can connect this strange IP address number with any domain. But the reason why I didn't connect it with the domain is because it is somewhat silly to have connected it with the domain for just a test server. So this, if you type in 104.248.22.191, you will get to this server. So it's publicly available. So if you are watching this, you can type in this number. So I will share it. Okay, if you want, you can type in the number. So this is the only thing that my server sees. So that root and that folder that I've used is only occupied with this file. So it's called send-sms-notion.php. And when I click on it, I get some sort of an error, 500. Because currently I'm not still done with the thing. The server doesn't know what to do with it, and usually 500 errors are reserved for the not exactly the server, but the service that is being used. But we will go about on uh, figuring that out. Okay, let's go to the tutorial.
I
We
just
have
So
have
here's
one
one.
question.
yeah, go
Yeah.
on.
Is this whole setup something that we have to do every time we are sending an SMS? Or is this something that we do one time and then for every other SMS, this is already set?
Carolina, can you?
So
Yeah.
I would say that you do it once, but it does depend on how you're doing it. So I, for instance, when I do something with PHP code, I have MAMP on my computer, so I can just start a local server on my computer. That's nothing that's online. It's not live. You can't go to the URL or something. But I can, with just using MAMP, I can test sending SMSs.
Mm-hmm.
But as Rene is showing now, he has a live server that you have a URL where you can go to. And if you have set that up, you only have to do that once. depending on the way you have chosen to do it. But often you just have to do that once, and then you can just push new information up to your, like, so the script we were viewing, all of the PHP code, if you do any changes, you just update that to your server. So basically the same as having a folder on your computer. You're just updating something in a file in that folder, and the folder is basically the server, if that makes sense.
So yeah, essentially, if you haven't made, so if you didn't push around the blocks or created new blocks, so this part will only figure out. So we will kind of, during this other part of the tutorial, we will figure out right now is actually when you don't make changes and don't introduce new blocks, it will still work. So it will focus now on these specific blocks that we type in. I will show it right now. So this is actually the next step. So we had done this, we have gotten the script, we have set the following variables inside the file. We have written the Notion API key, which is the integration token secret. We have taken the Elks API user password, and we have set the from. From is Notion. So we have uploaded it to the server, and we have that strange number /send-sms-notion.php. So we will test our script now. So this is the moment of truth. So the thing is that the issue could be we have to be somewhat careful of handling the database and the block. This can be somewhat confusing. It was somewhat confusing for me, but you just have to be careful for this time, and the next time you don't have to be that. You don't have to again copy it. You can just use it for the next time. So let's see it that way. So we, in our database URL, the marked part is our database ID. So, and the block URL is this. So, okay, just to go back to our workspace, actually, this is what it's all about. When we copy this link, and let me just put it in a tab and present it. So this is the public link for that specific block, right? So I will try to somehow make it larger. Just a sec, I will have to do something else.
I think you can actually write it in your Notion document. So
yeah, I could use actual Notion. Technically. Yeah. Okay. So let me just put it here for everyone to see. Where should I put it? So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. Is this still okay?
It is.
It's okay. Cool. So we have. Oh, yeah. Okay. Text.
So you can unlink it if you want to.
Just click on dismiss.
Where? Oh, dismiss. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Where can I increase or have it bigger or?
You can change it to heading 1.
Oh, heading 1. Okay. Text and change it to heading 1.
Yeah.
So it's huge. Okay, cool. So that is the message part, right? We had copied that. And let's copy guests, or let's copy the database. Let's do it here. Okay. And I'll click dismiss, and this is my own practice and training in Notion because I don't use it as much. So we have these two links, right? One is the message. Let's call it, let's be like, okay, message. And this is the database. Let's call it database. Oh, lovely. I've done it so good. So, okay.
It's fine.
No, I have to, everything has to be heading 1 now. Okay, cool. So we have the message part, we have the database part. So what did Aya say? What now? So it says copy the value for database ID and block ID in your own URL. So we have to, in your database URL, the mark part is our database ID. So everything after notion.so slash, so after slash and before the question mark, we have to copy. Cool. So we will go about on this part.
And just to
So
explain, this is unique for every Notion page, for every Notion account, for every database that you do. So you have to do exactly these steps in order to get just your participants list.
okay, now I'm having troubles copying it. Because
Oh,
if
is
I
it because
have
it's
to
still a
unlink it,
link?
I
Yeah,
have to unlink it.
I did that as well this week.
How can I unlink it?
So
Help
if
me!
I
If I
just
click it,
open a notepad.
I will have to. Let me just turn, copy link, move, color.
I think
What?
if you turn it into,
I think turn it into text.
yeah,
Yeah, but then
yeah,
it gets smaller.
It's just
but it's
smaller.
And
still
Oh,
linked. Oh, that's weird.
uh, okay. Okay.
Uh,
Well, I think that I managed to copy it. No, I
yeah,
didn't.
no.
Okay. Let me just. Okay, I will
It's a
just
bit
take
tricky.
this. I will just use. Can I use Control X or cut here? I can.
yeah.
I will open up a new notepad. I will put this all in a notepad. Just a sec, and I will share the notepad. Okay. Okie doke. Just a sec.
And the reason I can just explain meanwhile, the reason why we're doing this, when you want to send an SMS, you always have to say who it's from, who it's to, and what's the message. And in the code, we actually change the from, and we have that in our code or in our script, and we have uploaded that to our server. And what we're doing now is we're going to get the to, and we're going to get the message, and that's why we need the database ID and the block ID.
All right. So this is a bit clearer now, I think. Can you see it? Okay. So we will copy the
I can't see
database.
the screen.
Can you see the screen?
No,
Oh, you had.
Just a
no,
Okay.
second.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
Here it
Sorry.
is.
yeah.
Cool. Cool. Okay.
Here it is.
Okay. Okay. So um, we have to copy for the database. We have to copy everything after this slash till the question mark. So let's just copy that and put it here, like here. And then for the message part, we have to copy everything after the
Hashtag.
hashtag. Yeah, I completely had
Yeah.
my mind went blank. Okay, but this seems kind of weird and wrong. Just a second. I'm just going to check for this link again. Oh, just a sec. Let me just copy it again. Perhaps I
What
did
is
something wrong.
weird? I mean, if you say what's weird, then maybe if something like this happens to somebody else, they will know that something is weird.
We're all learning.
It's the learning process. So everything between. Let me just check with AS tutorial. I don't know this by heart. So we have copied everything after the slash, then till the question mark for the database. And for the message, we have to copy everything after the hashtag. Okay. So we copy everything after the hashtag somehow. This.
So I think it's just Notion's way of setting up your ID in different places depending on what kind of block you're using. So the database is one kind of block and the paragraph is one kind of block. And in the URL that you copy, they just have the ID in different places.
Yeah. And oh yeah, so you have to be very careful of that. Yeah. So let's just copy domain and everything that AI has written, how it should be formed. So this is the script. So this is the part where you type in the stuff that the all the information that we have here. So we will copy message and we will go to the message ID and we have to remove the curly brackets, sorry.
That's what I didn't do this week when I was
Yeah.
testing it.
So yeah, it's quite common. And the message. Oh, did I did it? Oh, the message. I have
Yeah,
rather message did the message, and I have to copy the database, the list actually, and we put it here and remove the curly brackets, and we have this URL, very big, very confusing. The one thing that we need to do is add our server here. So I don't know by heart, but I will copy the IP address. If you don't have the IP address, you will use your company's server. So if you will obviously use your company's server name here. So whatever, mycompany.com slash send dash SMS notion.php or whatever. So this is the link actually that will actually make and send the SMS. Okay, I will just stop sharing now and I will go about and start sharing another. So I will go about on having this and this, and we will go to our server. So again, nothing to see, but when we paste our big URL here, I should be getting a message. Let me just check.
you actually have to link it on your Notion page first,
Yes, and
I think.
that is yeah, we can run it like this. So we can press enter and just run it, and it will
Mm.
be a good thing to like link it and have a send
Oh,
button.
yeah.
But we
Yeah,
can try it,
true.
just not to go into the process and have to. Perhaps I
Yeah.
messed something up in translation. Anyway, I have to check it out. Okay, I will click enter here, and I will run the script. Okay, it's running. Oh, okay. Something went wrong. Just a sec.
That's always exciting when doing your workshop
Oh,
live. Something went wrong. We just have to troubleshoot it.
the site cannot be reached. I have to think this one through. Just a sec. Perhaps I did something wrong in the code. Let me just check. Okay.
This is actually what happened to me when I was rehearsing the tutorial this week. I got like an error message again and again and again, and I
Yeah.
was like, what am I doing wrong? So I triple checked everything, and it turns out that I didn't remove the curly brackets. I just forgot.
Mm. Okay, let me just see what is.
Carolina,
Yeah.
if we when we get this all set up, after
Mm.
we send our first SMS,
Mm.
and we want to keep the same setup, so keep the same blocks, we don't move anything, but we
Yeah.
change text within the
Yeah.
blocks. Does the link or the address stay the same?
That's a really good question, actually. I'm gonna check it in my Notion page because I
Uh-huh.
didn't even think about that. So I have one here.
And if we also change, we keep the database, we don't touch it, we don't
Yeah.
move it, but we
Mm.
just delete the data and we add new data within the same database.
Yeah.
Whether the link
But
is still the same,
yeah, that's
the
so
URL.
true. I'm gonna have a look at it. So I'm just gonna copy it first.
I think what the issue I found out. I think know what the issue is, and the thing is, I've used HTTPS. Okay,
Oh,
because
instead of
yeah,
HTTP.
because I had copied the example from the tutorial, which said HTTPS, and then I just wrote in the domain and everything. Tricky. Okay, let me just copy it again without the HTTPS, and because I'll copy the IP address of the server also. Okay, we are almost here. HTTP.
So just to answer your question, if you do change, like if you have the block paragraph where you have written your message and you just take out the text, but you have the block still there, and you write something new, you change your message, the block ID will still be the same thing. And it's the same with the database, as I can see. If you have a database and you have written Rene, Sanya, Carolina, and you have written all of our phone numbers and you remove that data in the database ID will still be the same in Notion. But if you were to remove the database or the original block paragraph, then they will create a new one. So you have to change that in your script then.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a sec. Let me see what's going on.
I'm just thinking, about a way how to reduce the steps for every next time.
Yeah, so this is just the first time when you set it up. You need to have like a live server. You need to create a Notion document. But as you say, once you've done it once, you can just change the information and you can send SMS.
Cool.
So it's quite easy once you've done all the steps the first time.
Let me just check if I've done everything correctly. I think that some sort of a permission is missing. Just a second. Let me just do something else. Just a sec.
But it's always good troubleshooting live as well, because we learn as we go, and it creates questions and it creates answers as well.
I think that I figured it out. So it's about permissions, and I will showcase the thing so that everyone can see. I will share the screen so people see the process actually. So okay.
Wait. I think I
So
have to.
So there
So,
are so we could do this, and we will help out people use FileZilla next time, because FileZilla helps you be more faster, because it uses the graphical user interface, and kind of you just drag and drop the file. So what I think the issue is here is the permissions. So the web server actually doesn't see the files that we put here, but in order to make it see, we will rename the file to index.php. Index is actually the file name that the web servers recognize as the default first web page. So we can do that. So I will just rename it to index.php.
And just to clarify, this is on Rene's server, on his kind of setup of a server. So it can be different for different people depending on the server setup that you have.
Yes. So let me see if this is sec. All right. Okay. I will just do some permission changes.
And what Rene is looking at now when he types, so you can see all of those dashes and the letters, that is actually just the permissions on the server. It shows, can the server see the file? Can it write on the file? Can it, like, it's easy once you know what you're looking at, but it can be a bit daunting just seeing it.
Exactly. Okay, let me just do the permission change, and we will go about. All right. This is the thing that happens on live streams. If we weren't on a live stream, we would cut this out.
Yeah.
No, you
Okay.
would never do that. Come on.
Ah, obviously not. Okay, let me just type this magical.
No, I think this is actually great because, when you're watching too many videos where everything works just perfectly, and then you
Yeah.
try to do it yourself and you cannot do it like that. And you just keep getting errors left and right, and then you feel like an idiot. So I
I
think,
know that feeling all too well. Like
yeah,
if you
yeah.
follow a tutorial and everything is smooth and they like come to the end and they're like, yeah, it works. And you're sitting there yourself and you're like, it doesn't work. I don't get it. But what am I doing wrong then?
Yeah. So this happens to everyone, but not everyone shows it.
And especially developers, I would say. Like there's a lot of moments when you feel like, what has gone wrong? Okay, let's look at the code. Let's look at the server setup. Let's look at this. So we actually do a lot of troubleshooting, and it's always good to see it as well.
Yeah.
It is a thing that we need to figure out, but I am doing my best, and hopefully we will get this up and running soon. Just a sec.
Just let me know if you want me to share my screen or something.
I don't, if you have the already done example, so we
Yep.
can showcase how. But I'm just trying to I think that. Sec. I'm going to do something. Just a sec. So I'm going to do about and go about this way to just have to share something else. Just a sec. I will I will share again this, and I will go about so on showing how the development of the server works. So this server is tricking with me. Something is wrong. I will show how easy it is to create a new server. So this when you log on to DigitalOcean, the first thing you encounter is this. So all that you need to do to create it is go to create. I will show a very fast tutorial right now. Create droplets. It's called droplets in tutorial in DigitalOcean, and we select marketplace. We select this called lamp. You can just remember it as lamp. We selected the cheapest variant of $5 per month. We can select Frankfurt if we live in Europe, for example. I will type in a password here just to have something ready. So you type in the password here that you will use to access the server. So, just a sec. All right, and I will type in. Okay.
I'm just thinking about the fixed cost at the moment. So we can run this with Notion's free account, correct?
Oh
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
And for the 46 Elks account, we don't have any fixed cost, only if you're sending, I don't know, how many messages, then we pay per message, right?
Exactly. So you pay per message part, and that was what we were talking about before, that a part of a message is 160 characters.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's more, then it will be divided in several parts, but you pay per part then when you send a message. But there's no running costs. You only pay for what you actually send out.
Okay.
And on the link that's on the workshop page, there you, as you said in the beginning, you will get 10 euro in credits, and that's 100 kroner in Swedish kroner. So you have a bit of like credits to test this out with as well. Yeah, that link.
Yeah, I think with this amount we can test it quite a lot.
Yeah.
So
and as you can see, like sometimes you have to test things, so you only pay for when a message actually goes out. But you can keep on testing them and see what kind of message we want to write, when is it more than one part and stuff like that.
so our server is up and running here. So
Yay!
it is up and running, and we will try again. So just to demonstrate how easy it is to get it up and running. So a completely new server. I will now just try to do everything again, and we will kind of do it again and see if this works. Just a sec.
So we are setting up a new server now.
Yes.
Okay.
So 2 tutorials in one. Yeah. Okay. Just a sec. I will just reload this. See it. Everything is. There were some issues with that, but we will get it going. Just a sec. All right. Okay. I will just write down. I will just now log into the server again and show you how it works. If it's
So when you create a new server, you get a new IP address, and that's your URL that you will use for this instance. And as Rene said before, you can link a IP address to a domain. So it could be rene.com, for instance, that we access, but now we're going to access the IP address.
so we can access it. So I can demonstrate it in this way. So you can also access it using not only I've used another service, but you can access it directly through DigitalOcean. So you can click here. You can click Access and click Launch Droplet Console. So and this will also help you with that. Let me, if I'm not sure if you see this because it's another window, I will just, sorry. Yeah, it's somewhat complicated. It
It's
is
tough
somewhat
sharing
complicated,
screen.
but yeah. Okay, so cool. Can you see it a bit better now?
Yeah.
I can even increase the size. So we have a new server here. We can go to, again, that same place. So it's called var/www. It has its own HTML folder. Oh, okay. So I'm now realizing my mistake. I think that in the process I had deleted the HTML folder, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, kudos to me. Okay, so we now create again that let's call it send.php. And within that, we copy again the code that Aya has provided. So I will do it again
So
here.
that's the script code that we were watching on GitHub, and there's a link to it on the workshop page and on the tutorial page as well.
Yes. So I go to the, it's tricky to get to the page up in these, but okay. We will get to the, again, Notion API key. Notion API key is the key that you get after clicking on the secret My Integration, notion.so/my integrations. So you have that key. I will go about again and take that key, copy it here. Let me just copy it. Okay. I will also define from, type it in as Notion. I will type in the Elks API user. and the password. So this is the my from the dash 46elks.com slash I think my account, if I'm not mistaken, or account. So 46elks.com slash account. We copy paste our secret password, the password from the that we got, and we just save this file. Yes. Sec.
I just like to say hi to the people who are still watching us.
Yeah,
There
I'm
is
so
still a
grateful.
couple of them who are with us from the beginning, and please let us know where you're watching us from.
Yeah, that would
And
be
if you have any questions, just write it in the comments.
okay.
I
Sure.
hope we are getting all the comments here.
Yeah.
Oh, Vishnya is still here. Thanks.
Thank you, Vishnya, for being so persistent with an
Yeah.
hour and a half long workshop. But we will get it running now. So I will. So this is the moment of truth, or complete and utter shame.
There's
Just a sec.
no shame in coding.
Yeah, that is true. Okay. I will share now the. So I will run and share the script. Stop sharing again. Our faces
Yeah.
and the window, and I will go about.
Vishnya asked a question about whether
Yeah.
there's a way to import people's phone numbers directly to Notion. So, like a newsletter subscription form that would fill directly to Notion. You received the SMS?
Yeah. Just so. So now I'm trying to unlock my phone. So this is a good night. Okay. So we have the Notion on the sender.
Oh,
I don't
I
know if you
got
can
it
see.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I got
And
Did
we
it.
I
have
as well?
Okay,
Welcome Notion workshop.
yeah,
What? Did
I'm
I write
just,
that?
yeah,
Welcome Notion
welcome Notion
workshop.
Workshop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got that
where is
too.
it?
Oh, I didn't
Uh,
write two.
Here.
So that one?
Yeah, Karina, did you get the
Yeah.
SMS? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you got it.
All of us did 2 countries at once.
Oh, now I'm going to go pass out. Okay. Okay, let's just put that link. Let's just do that.
Okay.
This is the link. We put it. So I'm going to share my screen again. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So where should I put the send? Like here?
Yeah.
And how do I do the link? Oh, here.
Yeah.
And I just link that. And will I click the link to web page? That a good thing? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So okay. So how can I see from a public point of view if I copy this and I
Yeah,
go
just
to
copy it to a new tab.
okay, let me just do it and I'll just copy the whole thing here and I want to see it like not from the admin point of view. I will see it like oh cool. But where send is here. So if I click send, it will be I don't want to go there. I just want it to work. So I just wanted to how can I do that?
Yeah, but I think it will go to
It
it.
will
So
go.
when it triggers, it will go to that URL that triggers the script, and that will send the SMS. So that is what will happen.
So no matter so if I go about and write send and if I click where is
Ella is
that
saying hi.
hi
Hi.
uh,
I'm just going to answer Vishnya's question. So
Yeah.
hold on. Yeah.
there are some tools that you can use.
Okay.
I can't remember the exact names of those. I think one is called like Joe or something like that. So like subscription forms that you can use that are connected to your Notion account. and where people subscribe to, I don't know, your newsletter or whatever it is, and their email addresses are automatically being filled to your Notion database, or phone numbers, however you set it up.
I'm playing with color now.
Yeah, that's what we
Uh,
are missing.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
think
So
so
yeah,
too.
that's the way to actually send the SMS in Notion. So it's pretty straightforward. Apart from the fact that I had some issues with the server, and but we got a chance to demonstrate how easy it was to actually run up a new server. So you go to digitalocean.com, you create an account, you get that first screen, go to create droplets and click on lamp, and just let it click create, and you will get
Yeah.
a server running. And we are constantly evolving and trying to help with the service being more accessible. But this is for now the part that you have to do by yourself. But we are here to help, obviously, so we don't give up that easily. So that is the point. Yeah.
So if somebody is stuck, what is the best way to seek help?
All right. So, Carolina, can you?
I would say to contact us. So if you get stuck and you don't know what to do, you can just
Mhm.
like we have our page with information to all of us that works in 46Elks. You have phone numbers and you have email addresses, and we have the information for the support phone
Mhm.
as well. So you can just contact us if you get stuck in any way, and we can help you.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
So
So
all of
it's
the
on 46elks.com. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Okay,
help
let me
at
just.
help at 46elks.com.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me
one
just
of the
put
email
that
addresses.
here.
And if you contact support, then perhaps you want to talk to me or Aya, uh, we can help you anyways.
Mhm.
And like we always support all of each other in the companies. We're quite a small company, so it might be me having the support phone one day, or one of my coworkers can ask me, or if I can help out. And it's the
Okay,
same for Renee as well. So
cool.
Yeah.
Um, Anything else to add?
Like, don't be scared. Like, I
yeah,
think we had a big intro, but the whole process, let's keep in mind, the whole process with the errors happening and unpredictable things happening lasted under an hour. So I approach things as a beginner. We can and we will do a tech talk of actually building a website or building stuff like this using FileZilla, which is more user friendly. We can
Mhm.
also have that. We will have that in a tech talk in our future tech talks, and we will link it to the Notion community. So you can use it as an alternative to this perhaps somewhat user unfriendly console terminal. So don't be scared. Don't worry. Leave your doubts at the door, or we are here to help you. Again, we had issues and it lasted under an hour to set it up. So be brave.
Yeah,
That is the point. Yeah.
cool. Where can people connect with you, like personally? Rene, I know that you're on LinkedIn.
Yeah, sure. LinkedIn is a resource that I use, and
So, do the
a
full
plat.
name is Rene Brakus?
Yes, so I will share my full profile here with you, so you can have it and share it with folks.
Mm-hmm.
So people can reach out. People do reach out for help and reach out for advice. I use the LinkedIn platform not only for my personal profile, but also we have 46 Elks profile. I think that let me just check. It's
Well, I
How
think people can find it. I
people
was
can
just
find it.
wondering, if you're okay with if somebody has a question where they can, I mean, without other than sending an email, can they reach out on LinkedIn? Fine with
Absolutely.
that. Carolina,
LinkedIn
you?
or just a yeah, I'm the same. Like any
Okay.
channel, Twitter, LinkedIn, call me, email me.
Okay.
I think you have the phone now, the
Oh
phone
yeah,
number.
Just send
that's
the
true.
SMS.
Just
And
send the
that's my
SMS. Yeah.
private phone number as
Yeah.
well.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Oh. Okay.
But
For
that's
this
fine as
instance, you
well.
can call me, and we will figure something out. But in the next couple of workshops, we will like give out our business phone
Yeah,
numbers.
Okay.
that's totally fine as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Okay. So Vishnya is saying, well done, everyone. Well done, both of you. I was just watching.
Well,
So,
Renee.
So
uh,
just I
yeah.
figured out what the issue with the server was. It was actually reacting. It has a security feature where I pushed too much for a login and has locked out my IP address and has pushed me away from using the server. So that was the thing. So the server was working actually fine, but the fail to ban service, it's called, it kind of pushed me away and put me on the block list. So I kind of blocked myself out of my own server. So yeah, so it happens. So yeah, essentially, yeah, it wasn't the server's fault. Let's call it that way. Say it that way.
Yeah, but we should always blame the system.
Yeah, of
Absolutely.
course.
Oh, we
Yeah.
had a technical error. The system did something wrong. It
Yeah.
wasn't
Oh,
us.
sorry.
Yeah. So people are starting to send you SMS. Cool.
Yeah, it's. I had to. I took it off the silent mode because I was expecting like the theatrical, like here's the SMS, but it wasn't. Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was
Thank you.
great. Okay. Thank you both.
Yeah.
I
Thank you,
hope this
Sonia.
will useful for anyone who is considering sending SMS either from Notion, or they can check out some other options among your other tutorials. And people don't ask me how to send SMS. Here are the people who you should ask.
Yeah.
So reach out to 46 Elks and use the 10 euros you got for testing it. How long will that link be available? Is it just for those who register today or?
It will be available for a while. I can't remember the exact date,
Mhm,
but if it's not available, and
mhm.
like if you register for an account and you've done it
Yeah.
with this link, send me an email, ping me on LinkedIn, ping me on Twitter. We can
Okay.
figure something out.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thank you. And let's finish up. Some thunderstorms are already here. My dog
Oh.
is
Ooh.
afraid of thunder,
Oh,
so
Okay.
it's time to end everything and go take care of the dog.
put some cotton
Okay.
in your ears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
Sonia.
and
Yeah.
have a
Take
nice
care.
evening.
Thank you for hosting
You
us.
Bye.
too.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.